Greetings, loyal subscribers and honoured guests. It's time once again for my recent pickups. This will be everything I picked up during the month of February. From now on, every first Sunday of the month will be when I upload the pickups for the previous month. And depending on how much stuff there is, I might divide it up into parts again like I did for January. Today, although there's quite a lot for February, I am just going to stick to one part, I think. So the running time might be a bit on the long side, so hopefully you can stick with me to the end, but if not, then no worries. Just watch as much as you would like to, and so let's get on with it. Let's show you the first thing. I'm beginning with a few sort of big recent releases on the latest consoles, and then we'll get to some older stuff as we go along. So first up, I've got Elden Ring on the Xbox Series X. So let's just do the switch over. Yeah, so this is a sort of Soulsborne style game from Software, and my history with these is a bit rough. I've tried Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I bought those. Got a certain way into Demon Souls, quite enjoyed it for a while, but then it got too tough. Likewise with Dark Souls, I gave up eventually, and then I tried a little bit of Bloodborne only because it was a PS Plus game. And yeah, it didn't cost me anything extra just to try it. So I sort of gave up after that and assumed I wouldn't try these games again. But after having watched Danny O'Dwyer play some of the Demon's Souls remake, my interest was a bit rekindled, and I have picked up that remake, but I haven't really played it much yet. That was a part of all the stuff I picked up late last year, so I still need to get stuck into that properly. But I started to hear from the creator of the game, actually, and from other people, that Elden Ring it would be a bit easier going and easier for newcomers to get into and actually make some progress in. And for the most part, that is indeed true. The boss battles are still sorry. The boss battles are still really, really difficult, and I have had to walk away a couple of times from frustration. But the good thing about this one is it's in a vast open world, and there's just so many options for you to explore that if you get stuck on one particular thing, you can just wander off in another direction and spend hours just seeing the sights. And the game does give you quite a lot of options for getting more powerful. There's just your standard levelling up like you can in most RPGs, and then you can improve your weaponry with smithing stones once you get to the sort of safe hub area. And sorry, I'm just going to switch back to my big face. Yeah, and you can also get spirits that you can summon in battle, like ghost wolves, and they can be leveled up eventually. And you can get co-op from other players, or when it's a big boss fight, you can summon an AI controlled character to help you as well as your other summons. And although the AI isn't that great, it still serves to distract the boss just enough that you can sort of get around behind them and get some easy hits in without getting wiped out yourself. And you can increase the number of healing flasks that you carry and how effective they are, all sorts of things. So if you're willing to put the time in, then I think anyone could get through this game. I must have tried Margit, the sort of first major boss, 30 or so times before I defeated it, and you just, although you sort of get a bit stubborn and keep trying to kill the same boss. If you're not ready, then the best thing to do is just walk away and either put the game down for a bit or just go to another area and get more powerful. I had to do that about 3 times before I could eventually beat him. So yeah, that's that one. So I'll move on before this gets really long. The next one, which came before Elden Ring, is Horizon Forbidden West, and I think I probably will go back to this one for a bit before going back to Elden Ring, because Elden Ring's pretty exhausting. So let's put the trailer for this one on. Yeah, so this is the next big release from PlayStation Studios, with and it's a direct sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I only completed about a month ago. I bought Zero Dawn when it launched and played quite a lot of it back then, but for whatever reason never got all the way through it. Yeah, but once this sequel got close, I really wanted to make sure I'd finished the original before I got stuck into this one, so I've done that. And I'm quite enjoying Forbidden West. I've only just got to the sort of actual Forbidden West area, because there's quite a long section before that in a place called the Daunt. You can spend ages there if you want to, and I did, because I like doing all the side quests and trying to get all the collectibles. One minor thing that's frustrated me a little bit about this one is that some of the collectibles can't be collected until you've got certain things in your moveset, or just sort of powered up in certain ways. Like there's red crystals that you need to burn away. I've just got the ability to do that. And there's metal flowers that you can't pick up until you do something else, and underwater areas that you'll just drown in until you get the ability to breathe underwater properly. So that has annoyed me, that I'm going to have to backtrack if I want to get everything a little bit. But it's not a big deal really, I don't think. But and the game does look stunning on the PS5, although it's still pretty impressive on the PS4 Pro as well, from what I've seen of that version. And if you do buy the PS4 version, you can just upgrade to the PS5 version for free. I think that's something that Sony are regretting offering now, because they tried to backtrack on it a while ago, but they'd already said it was going to be free to upgrade, so legally I don't think there's anything they could really do about it. So we've benefited it, but they're not doing that for future games like Gran Turismo 7. Even though that's multi-format, there's no free upgrade. You just buy one version or the other, or pay for the upgrade. It was just sort of launch window games that they were going to do for free. So yeah, I got many more hours to spend in that one. But anyway, let's move on. So game number 3 is Resident Evil Village. And this is still sealed at the moment. I bought it on eBay for 20 quid, which is a very good price for a new sealed game. Let's just start the trailer. Yeah, I do need to go back and actually play Resident Evil Biohazard, the 7th one. I have got that, the gold version with all the DLC included. And I've tried to get into it once, but I find the first person perspective a bit intense. But I've watched someone play through that entire game now, which was Brad on Nextlander. He played the VR version, which I could never do. But anyway, there's no surprises, no nasty surprises now. So I think I could get through it myself without being too freaked out by it. We'll have to see. So, and I think, although this one, Village, uses the same sort of first-person perspective, I don't think it's quite as scary, really. It's a lot of it seems to be quite silly, and it jumps about in so many different styles. You've got the vampire lady house, then you've got werewolves, killer dolls, a gross baby thing, and all sorts of other things. So yeah, and I think structurally, it's supposed to be fairly similar to Resident Evil 4, with a sort of hub area and the merchant and all the rest of it. So I think, yeah, 20 quid was a very good price, considering this game is only sort of about 6 or 7 months old. They haven't released any DLC for it yet, but they've said that's coming now, after it's sold really well. And I'm guessing eventually there'll be a third and final part of this trilogy. I think they've already confirmed as much, that 9 will be the last part of this sort of sub-series of first-person games. They might stick with the first-person perspective, but they'll probably kind of do a soft reboot and do another story or something. They like to shift things up after a while. Yeah, so that's that one. Next up, another game that's still sealed. This is a PS2 game, so a bit of an older one now, and this is Graffiti Kingdom. So yeah, this is a game that I've always been quite interested in playing. It's a sort of action RPG where you can build your main character yourself out of component parts. And yeah, it's all set in a sort of graffiti drawn art style. I think the game is a bit clunky to play nowadays. The combat isn't the best in the world, and the camera and everything. But this was pretty cheap. I was surprised. I think it was a tenner I got it for, and it's normally a lot more than that. And when you consider that my copy is sealed, although it might not be the manufacturer's seal, they might have just put it in that. That's a good price, I think, for that game, because it's semi-rare, I think, not as rare as Atlas games. But yeah, here you can see someone's made a panda. Reminds me a little bit of Spore, that Sid Meier creature game where you could design your own alien life form. Oh, he's giving his panda wings now, see? Yeah, so it's pretty cool that that this character creator is so extensive. Yeah. Out the way, pussycat. Come on. Oh, that's the dinosaur from Bubble Bobble, isn't it? Bubble Bob. Yeah. Cool. Because it is a Taito game, so yeah. They've created him for the trailer. I don't know if there are pre-made creatures that you can just play as if you don't want to go through the creation process, or yeah, because I saw one review of this where someone had tried to make a creature and they hadn't quite understood how the character was going to move based on what they drew, so his head was on his rear end sort of thing, so he was walking backwards. So you do need to sort of make sure you've got that figured out, or your character will look a bit weird. But yeah, in a way, the graphics remind me a little bit of Chibi Robo, although it's a different sort of game really than that. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. So, what's next? We have Sega Rally on the PlayStation 3. Now, I used to own this game on the Xbox 360, but I got rid of it a long time ago on the 360. I'm not sure why. I think I just got a bit tired of it. But I did enjoy it at the time. I picked it up again, this time on the PS3, just for the sake of variety, really. I have got the PSP version as well, but that's a different game. That was designed by Bugbear. I'm not sure who the developer are for the home console version, but it's an arcadey rally game where you race against other AI opponents on the same track. And of course, it is the next game in the Sega Rally franchise, but it's a bit more sort of realistic than previous games in the series. Yeah, there are lots of cups and tracks. It does get fairly challenging. I did get stuck on it, I think. But yeah, and they made a big thing of how the mud deforms and the sort of furrows of that you churn up stay there lap after lap. But of course, MotorStorm had already done that sort of thing before this came along. But it is quite a cool effect, nevertheless. So I shall enjoy playing that one. I do like a good racing game. So we don't need to let the trailer play out all the way. I'm just going to switch back. Next, if you remember last time, I had the trio of Buzz games, and I thought in the trailer for that somebody was playing Buzz on the PS3 with a PSP, but I misunderstood a little bit. There is actually a separate Buzz PSP game. Well, there's a couple actually. I've got one of them here, which, as you can see, I got for 75p, which is a bargain. Let me start the trailer. So this is Buzz Master Quiz, and as you'd probably surmised, it's a portable version of the Buzz quiz games on the PSP. But this is actually a little bit better for single people to play, because it has got a sort of more of a campaign mode for that you can work through in different categories, trying to get the gold medal in each one. Which the single player modes in the PS3 games and PS2 games were a bit sort of just basic, really. You just have a quick fire round against the timer, and that was it. But this one, makes it more interesting for you to play by yourself, which fits the format of the PSP quite well. And the other thing they do in this one is there's quite a lot of video clips using the power of the PSP to run MPEG clips off the UMD, so that's good as well. I shall enjoy playing that one. I've played quite a bit of it already. Now I'm going to show the next two together, as I have done in previous videos where they've been the same series. I've got two of the three Mario Party games for the 3DS. Star Rush and Island Tour. There's another one, I forget what the other one's called, but that was a bit pricier, so I haven't bought the third one yet. I might do eventually, but there's plenty to be going on with these two. For now, let's have a look at it. Yeah, so this I think is the Star Rush trailer, but it's just a handheld Mario Party, really. And much like Buzz, these handheld versions of Mario Party have got more of a single player mode than your normal home console ones do. You can still play it in multiplayer, of course, and the good thing is that you only need one cartridge to play with another person, and you just can do the Wi-Fi connection and play remotely like that. I do enjoy the Mario Party games, and I know they get a lot of stick, really, for the sort of random BS that happens at the end of the game, where they just sort of arbitrarily give out stars. In the latest one, I think Superstars, you can actually turn that off if you don't like it, so it's more skill based, but I'm not sure if you can do that on these ones. I was just remembering the other one that I haven't bought yet is the Top 100, which is like the the most popular top 100 mini games from the older games, just brought over. And I imagine many of those games are the same as the ones in Superstars that I've got on the Switch. So that might not be worth buying for that purpose anyway. So yeah, that's enough of Mario Party, I think. 3 more to go. I've got another PS2 game here. This is Pac-Man Rally. Let's just do the trade. Now, I do love my kart racing games, and this is one that I've always wanted to play. I wanted to get the GameCube version or the PSP version, but the GameCube version is getting very expensive. Likewise, the PSP version is fairly expensive, and it's also hard to find. But the benefit of the PSP one is that it's got exclusive tracks that aren't in this home one. But anyway, I settled for this PS2 version because it's pretty cheap. I think, although it's not the most amazing kart racer ever, certainly not in the same league as something like Mario Kart 8, for example, I should get some enjoyment out of it, I think. I have been on a bit of a Pac-Man kick recently because I got those Ghostly Adventures games and something else. And I've been playing those Ghostly Adventures games. I've completed the first one and I'm most of the way through the second, so you can look out for an Xbox Zone review of both games together soon-ish. But yeah, that's another racing game for me to play. So, and then along similar lines, we have Star Wars Super Bombard Racing, which is a Star Wars kart racer. And this game has had really sort of negative reviews, but it was only a couple of quid, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and try it. It might be terrible, but I don't know. Let's have a look. It's only got 8 characters, which is a bit thin on the ground, and I don't think it's got that many tracks, but maybe I should just stick with the Star Wars racer games if I want Star Wars themed arcade racing. But anyway, 14 tracks. I think some of them are the arenas though, not all the racing tracks, but we'll see. Doesn't look too bad from here. Quite colourful. There's the old pod race track that they've featured in other games, of course. Streets of Naboo. Where's that? Coruscant, probably. And then racing around as Amidala. Yeah. Darth Maul, cutesy Darth Maul. They've all got big heads. There's a Sarlacc pit. Yeah, not much more to say really. I'll let you know if that is indeed as bad as everyone says it is, or if it's got some enjoyment. And now I'm on to the last thing, which is Naruto: The Broken Bond. So last time I picked up Naruto Rise of the Ninja, and I did try it for a couple of hours, and I really quite enjoyed it. And this is the direct sequel to that. I'd imagine it's more of the same in terms of gameplay, but it continues the story that was set up in Rise of the Ninja. And last time I made the mistake of saying that these games were developed by Bandai Namco, which the later Naruto games are. I think they still are to this day. But these ones were actually by Ubisoft, so they've got the sort of open world action RPG structure of other Ubisoft games, and it works really well. It looks good, and it's fun. And I still don't know much about the manga or anime that it's based on. Maybe I actually will try watching an episode or two on wherever it's available. Is it on Netflix or do I need to get Crunchyroll? I'm not sure. But yeah, I can get the gist of the story just from playing these 2 games, really. It probably doesn't cover the entire span of the anime storyline, I would imagine, because they were still making it up to a few years ago. But yeah, so that's everything for February. Thank you again for watching all the way through, if you have done. There'll be more stuff to come on the channel. So yeah, Sundays is the day when I'll be uploading these pickups, and I'll be keeping my regular Wednesday upload as my other episodes. So if you haven't seen it, I've started Compilation Station, which is looking at Commodore 64 compilations. I've got another one of those soon. There'll have just been one the Wednesday before this goes up, actually. So I think no, there won't. It'll be next Wednesday. Sorry, I had to do the math in my head there. And of course, Cover Tape Chaos Zapped is still ongoing. And I've got that Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures review that I said was coming eventually. I've got to finish playing the second game, and then write the review and edit it all together and everything. So that'll be probably a few weeks, maybe. I don't know. And I've got plans for other stuff as well. I want to do PS1 and Sega Saturn videos eventually, but for now I've got enough to be getting on with just the Commodore 64 stuff, really. But anyway, that's enough waffle from me. I'll let you go, guys, get on with the rest of your day, whatever you've got planned. So yeah, see you on the next one, and in the meantime, take care.